us discuss the residue class and the residue system, right? So residue class is just a set containing all equivalent residues for a given modulo, right? Let us take an example. Let us, if we are dealing with mod m, so as we have seen that if we are dealing with mod m, the permissible values are only 0, 1, 2 and till m minus 1, right? Permissible values of any given modulo is always starts from 0 and ends with 1 less than this number m, right? So if we are dealing with mod 3, the permissible values are 0, 1 and 2, right? So for each element of this set we have a different residue class. So for this first element 0, we have first residue class for mod 3. This is written as 0, 3, right? This is the notation of residue class. The first residue class when we are dealing with mod 3 is 0, 3. This is just a set. This is just a set which is given by -6, -3, 0, 1. Sorry, this is 0, 3, right, 6 and so on, right? For the second element we have another residue class which is written as 1 modulo 3. This is just 1, 4, 7 and so on, and the negative side we have -2, -5 and so on, right? And for the third element we have corresponding residue class 2 modulo 3, right? This is 2, 5, 8 and so on, and on the negative side we have -1, -4 and so on, right? So for a given modulo m, there exists always m distinct residue class. So if we are dealing with mod 3, we have exactly 3 distinct residue class: 0 modulo 3, 1 modulo 3 and 2 modulo 3, right? So the residue class of modulo 3 correspond to 0 is what? -6, -3, 0, 3, 6 and so on. Now notice that these all numbers are equivalent when we are dealing with mod 3, right? These all numbers are equivalent when we are dealing with mod 3, right? Similarly, for residue class corresponding to 1, dealing with mod 3 is -5, -2, 1, 4 and 7 and so on, right? So notice these all numbers are equivalent when we are dealing with mod 3, right? So for any given modulo m, we have exactly m residue class, right? And residue distinct classes, right? So and also notice residue class will contain unlimited number of elements, right? In this class, in this set, we have number of elements equal to infinite number of elements we have in this class. Similarly, in this class also we have infinite number of elements, right? So every element in a residue class can be used to represent this residue class because all elements are equivalent, right? Usually the element with the least non-negative value and one with least absolute value are most frequently used in practice, right? So for example, the first residue class when we are dealing with mod 3, we have -6, -3, 0, 3 and 6. So to represent this modulo class, we can use the least positive integer, which is what? Obvious 0. So this can be written as 0 and mod 3 as we are dealing with mod 3. And for the second residue class, which is -4, -1, 2, right, 5, 8 and so on. So for this residue class we can use the notation either 2 modulo 3 or -1 modulo 3, because we have to use the number which have least non-negative value or least absolute value, right? least non-negative value or least absolute value, right? So this 2 is the least non-negative value, and this minus 1 is a number with least absolute value. That means we can use either 2 modulo 3 or minus 1 modulo 3 to this for the representation of this residue class, right? Now come to complete residue system. So for modulo 3 we have 3 different residue classes. First one is this, which is just a set -6, -3, 0, 3, 6 and so on. Second one is this, which is a set -5, -2, 1, 4 and so on. And third residue class is this, which is just a set -4, -1, 2 and 2, 5 and so on, right? So when we are dealing with mod 3, we have 3 distinct residue classes. If we select one element from each of these, residue classes, we can construct a complete residue system, right? If we select one element from each of these distinct residue classes, when we are dealing with mod 3, we can construct a complete residue system. Let's suppose select this number from first class, select this number from the second class, and select this number from the third class, and we can construct another set which is a complete residue system, which is just 0, 1 and 2. This is just a complete residue system. So complete residue system can be constructed by selecting a unique, or by selecting a element from each of the distinct classes of a given modulo, right? So we have select 0 from first class, 1 is from the second class, 2 is from the third class, right? Also not necessarily we have to select the least positive integer. We can select any element from each of the class. Let us suppose we can select -3 from the first class, and 4 from the second class, and -1 from the third class. This is also the complete residue system when we are dealing with mod 3. Right. So we can select any element from these given 3 distinct residue classes of a given modulo, right, and can construct a complete residue system. That's it. This is just a complete residue system. Sometime it is not necessarily to select elements from all the residue classes, right? Here we have selecting an element from each of the class, but sometime it is not necessary to select elements from all these residue classes. In such a case, the resulting system is called incomplete residue system, right? This is a complete residue system because we have selected element from each of these distinct classes, but sometime not necessarily to select elements from all of the distinct classes. That system is called incomplete residue system. Incomplete residue system, right? So let's suppose we can select 2 elements, one from this and one from this, but no element from this. So let's suppose this only 1 and 2. So this is what incomplete residue system. Among all incomplete residue system, there is a special case which is called reduced residue system. Right? Reduced residue system is also an incomplete residue system, but this is a special case, right? So we will discuss this topic in the chapter of Euler's theorem, right?